Okay, this reading is going to be for January 30th through February 5th. The first card that I pulled for the beginning of the week, Monday, Tuesday into Wednesday, is Healing Heart. While I was meditating, I saw, when I'm meditating on the beginning of the week, I saw a pterodactyl soaring through a forest. And what's coming forward is that pterodactyl represents like prehistoric past life issues that may be surfacing at the beginning of this week, and with those past life issues that may be resurfacing, there's also ancient wisdom that will be resurfacing as well. So the wisdom actually comes through working through the past life issues that may arise, and acknowledging them and reframing them. So I'm getting this sense that some sort of wall has been created, that there's an area in your life that you feel really, really stuck, and that is coming from past life issues, which are replaying in this lifetime, and they'll continue to replay until you heal whatever that issue is. So what the guides are asking us to do is to really take a look at what those issues are, recognize that they are coming from an old story, an old way of being, a really old story that's coming through. What's coming through for me right now is I know in my past life I was burnt at the stake for being viewed as a witch, and how that plays out for me in this lifetime is that it's not safe for me to be powerful. If I'm in my own power, my story is, if I'm in my own power, someone's going to die, someone's going to get hurt, I will be ripped away from the people around me. So that's actually not true in this lifetime. So it's an irrational belief. So the new story that I'm working on is that standing in my power allows others to recognize their own power and stand in their power. So my ability to feel my own power actually empowers others. So that's the new story that I'm creating for this lifetime, and so our guides are gently asking us to see how we can reframe things in our own lives that may be keeping us stuck, and then once we do that, once we're able to really take a look at that story that we're telling ourselves and reframe it, then Healing Heart, there's going to be a lot of healing that comes forward, and a lot of ancient wisdom will just this like surfacing of this really core deep knowledge that's so needed right now in the world, will be resurfacing through you. So like the card says, you're a powerful healer, keep up the good work. So the beginning of the week, just really look at what those old stories that you're telling yourself are, and recognize that it's quite possible it comes from a past life. Okay, and it's time to let those go and release those old stories, so that we can really tell some powerful stories and stand in our own power. So yeah, I mean, think of how big that is, a story that you've been telling yourself for lifetimes. There's an opportunity at the beginning of the week to change that, so you can create a powerful life in this lifetime and in many lifetimes to come. So with that, I got a really big sense, even before I pulled this next card, that part of that deep healing, you know, you tell yourself, you know, recreate those stories. But midweek, you know, maybe Wednesday into Thursday, is a time for really deep self-forgiveness, okay? Because some of those stories that you've been telling yourself are really deep-seated judgments against yourself, which shows up in judgment towards others. So middle of the week is a really good time to practice self-forgiveness. And even if you don't believe it, just keep repeating it. You know, I forgive myself for judging myself as being weak. I forgive myself for judging myself. Whatever those judgments are that come out of those irrational stories that you're telling yourself, really practice self-forgiveness. Because as you forgive yourself, when you let go of those judgments on yourself, you start to loosen your hold and your judgments against other people. So it creates a much more peaceful world. In the meditation, I saw a person on a crocodile's back, and they were desperately trying to pull the mouth of the crocodile open. And they were just struggling and struggling. And finally, they got the mouth open, and they realized that the crocodile was dead. So a little bit morbid, yes, but the message is midweek. There's something that you have been struggling with. There's something where you have just been like beating your head against a brick wall, and it's not changing. It could be something in your job. It could be a person that you're trying to change. I don't know what it is for you. It's coming forward what it is for me. It's actually a person that I think I can change. And basically, what the guides are telling me is it's time to end the struggle. It's time to let it go. It's a dead end street. You're not going to change that, whatever that is. You can't force it. You just have to accept it. Okay, it's all about acceptance, and again, self-forgiveness for whatever judgments come up against yourself for not being able to open that door you want to open, change that person that you want to change yourself, whatever it is. It's time to surrender and release it, and recognize that that maybe it is the universe's way of telling you to kind of veer left instead of go right. You know what I mean? Like if you're fighting something and it's just you're beating your head against the wall and it's not moving, that it's time to move on. And when you give up that struggle, there is a space that opens up for something new and something more powerful and something more in alignment with your life's purpose to make its way into your life. Okay, so let's do that. I'm hearing the way of the master is effortless. You know, it doesn't have to be a big tight struggle. So like I said, in the struggle, you've been judging yourself really harshly because it hasn't worked out the way that you envisioned. As I said, I'm going to reiterate, deep self-forgiveness. I forgive myself for judging myself as blah, 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 blah. And like I said, as you forgive yourself, you forgive others, and it really frees up a space for you in your life. Okay. We keep pulling these weekend cards that are so magical. It's not the same one as last week, but it's even better. So the card that I pulled is the highest vibration in the deck. Thank you, Doreen Virtue, for creating these cards. Divine Magic. Okay, so this is a great card for the weekend, especially after doing all of this healing of past lives and judgments and self-forgiveness. What is created out of that space is divine magic. So in the meditation, I saw a tree with a star, and the tree had grown a little taller, and the star had grown a little bigger and a little brighter. And then the star turned into a fairy-like creature. And I hadn't pulled this card yet. If you'll notice the little fairy in the corner there. Okay, I always do the meditation first and then pull the card and see how they align. So the card turned into this fairy-like creature, I'm sorry, the star, and it was free. So what I'm sensing is that there is divine magic coming to you by working through this past life, these past life issues, and doing some deep self-forgiveness, recreating a new story for yourself and your life. Then this aspect of self will be freed up, and you can now soar. So that little fairy that I saw flying off, so I'm hearing that magic little miracle, that is that magic little miracle that is inside of you, that is waiting to be released and realized this weekend. Okay. So let's again, expect miracles. Okay. Expect miracles. Do the work. It doesn't have to be hard. It will just come to you. Those past life issues are everywhere. The same story keeps arising over and over and over again, and it's probably going to be very easy for you to notice as soon as you just decide to notice, and know that it comes from a past life, and recreate that story for yourself in an empowering way. Do a lot of self-forgiveness midweek, and then by the weekend, we are, know that you're a miracle. You have that miracle inside of you, and it's just waiting to be realized and released. So it's all about divine magic this weekend. I'm very excited. I just love how these cards and the meditations flowed together this week. It feels really, really powerful. So thank you very much, and as always, have a beautiful and blessed week. Okay, thank you. Bye.